In the late summer of that year, we lived in a house in a village that looked across the river and the plain to the mountains. In the bed of the river there were pebbles and boulders, dry and white in the sun, and the water was clear and the water. Where am I? And the water. Can't do this. Let's see. Let me start over. Okay. In the late summer of that year, we lived in a house in a village that looked across the river and the plains to the mountains. This is not working at all. You just cannot read Farewell to Arms while playing Killing Floor. It just doesn't really work. I want it to work. I would really like to read. I'm gonna keep trying. Okay, if these fucking Zeds would just let me just read my fucking book. In the late summer of that year, we lived in a house in a village that looked across the river and the plain to the mountains. In the better river, if I prop this up, fuck, I closed it. God damn it. Okay, where? It's on the first page. Fucking. Okay. I can't. There's no way for me to prop this goddamn book up. I need something to prop this book up. This is not working. Oh, I am going towards the trader. Well. Okay. Maybe if I bound, like, a button on my keyboard to shoot, and I could hold the book with another hand, trying to... Okay, that might work. In the late summer of that year, we lived in a I don't have any more ammo on this. I do, but... Fuck you. Okay. In the late summer of that year, we lived in a house in a village that looked across the river on the plain to the mountains. In the bed of the river, there were pebbles and boulders, dry and white in the sun, and the water was clear and swiftly moving in blue channels. Troops went by the house and down the road, and the dust they raised powdered the leaves of the trees. Let me buy my stuff. Where was I? The trunks of the trees, too, were dusty, and the leaves fell early that year, and we saw the troops march along the road, and the dust rising, and leaves, stirred by the breeze, falling in this, never mind. Marching, and afterward the road bare and white except for the leaves. The plain was rich with the crops. There were many orchards of fruit trees, and beyond the plain the mountains were brown and bare. There was fighting in the mountains, and at night we could see the flashes from the artillery. In the dark it was like summer. In the dark it was like summer lightning, but the nights were cool, and there was not the feeling of a storm coming. Sometimes in the dark we heard the troops marching under the window, and guns going past pulled by motor tractors. There was much traffic at night, and many mules on the roads with boxes of ammunition on each side of their pack saddles, and gray motor trucks that carried men, and other trucks with loads with loads covered with canvas that moved slower in the traffic. There were big guns too. Where am I? Oh fuck. There were big guns too. Guns covered with green branches and green leafy branches, and vines over the tractors. I'm not hitting that thing at all. The long barrels of the guns covered with green branches and green leafy branches and vines laid over the tractors. To the north we could look across the fucking crawlers and... Fuck you! I'm trying to read a book! God, I just want to read my fucking book. You could say, you know, okay, so you can not play Killing Floor and you could read A Farewell to Arms. Well, no, fuck you. That's the only way. Why is it the same trader? God damn it. Okay. This is not working as well as I thought it would, but I'm gonna keep doing it. There were big guns, too, that passed in the day, drawn by tractors, the long barrels of the guns covered with green branches and green leafy branches and vines laid over the tractors. To the north we could look across a valley and see a forest of chestnut trees, and behind it another mountain on the side of the river. There was fighting for that mountain, too, but it was not successful, and in the fall, when the rains came... Anyway, when the rains came, the leaves... Is that right? The chestnut trees and the branches were bare, and the trunks black with rain. The vineyards were thin and bare-branched too, and all the country wet and brown and dead with the autumn. There were mists over the river and clouds in the mountains, and the trucks splashed mud on the road, and the troops were muddy and wet in their capes. Their rifles were wet, and under their capes the 2 leather cartridge boxes on the front of the belts, grey leather boxes heavy with the packs of clips of thin, long 6.5mm cartridges, bulged forward. Fuck you, I'm trying to read this.
Where the hell is she?
No, I don't want to reload. That was a bad time to reload. Okay. There were small gray motor cars that passed along very fast. Usually there was an officer on the seat. Fuck. I just want to read a book! God damn it. I can never, they won't let me. They just won't. Fuck you! God. I just want to get an education. And these fuckers, look at these guys. What a bunch of little assholes with their anti-establishment, you know, whatever, you know, they think they're like, who reads books anymore? Apparently that asshole, let's beat that guy to death. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll show them. Fuck you. I really shouldn't have killed that there. Oh well. Okay.
They're all dead. It's time to go shopping.
They splashed more mud than the Chemions, even, and one of the officers in the back was very small, and sitting between 2 generals, he himself so small that you could not see his face, but only the top of his cap and his narrow back. And if the car went especially fast, where am I going? Oh, why is it the same trader again? What the fuck? Is that a server mod? Must be. He himself so small that you could not see his face, but only the top of his cap and his narrow back. And if the car went especially fast, he was probably the king. Oh wait, I need ammo for that. What am I doing? Where was that? He lived in Udine and came out this way nearly every day to see how things were going, and things went very badly. At the start of the winter came the permanent rain, and with the rain came the cholera. But it was checked in, and in the end, only 7,000 died of it in the army.
You know what to do with them.
The next year there were many victories. The mountain that was beyond the valley and the hillside. Fuck you! Okay. The vineyards were... Wait, that's not where I was. That's way up on the page. What am I doing?
Come and find me.
Chapter 2. The next year there were many victories. The mountain that was beyond the valley and the hillside where the chestnut forest grew. I just want to read a book. Oh god. Oh god. I just want to read a book, and these fucking assholes. Ah. Fuck. Oh, of course. Okay. Oh, okay. Whatever. Great. Oh, I killed it before it did anything. Great. Let's see. Beyond the plain on the plateau to the south, and we crossed the river in August, and lived in a house in Gorizia that had a fountain and many thick... What the fuck?
Is open, boys. Come get me.
Let's see. Now the fighting was in the next mountains beyond. It was not a mile away. The town was very nice, and our house was very fine. The river ran behind us, and the town had been captured very handsomely, but the mountains beyond it could not be taken, and I was very glad the Austrians seemed to want to come back to the town sometime if the war should end, because they did not bombard it to destroy it, but only a little in a military way. Those Austrians are nice guys. People lived on in it, and there were hospitals and cafes and artillery upside streets, and 2 bawdy houses, one for troops and one for officers. And with the end of the summer, the cool nights, the fighting in the mountains beyond the town, the shell-marked iron of the railway bridge, the smashed tunnel by the river, where the fighting had been, the trees around the square, and the long avenue of trees that led to the square. These with there being girls in the town, oh god. This is not a good place for reading a book at all. Gotta go fast. Ah, fuck. Okay, whatever. Assholes. Suck my dick.